All right, Gabe, my takeaways from this match, and really just looking at your wrestling overall, is doing a better job at dictating the hand fighting on your feet. So making first contact, and then once you have contact, doing something with your hands and feet. So pushing, pulling, snapping the head, elbow passing, clearing ties. Um, you're letting in this match, this opponent was able to do a better job of that than you. He was able to snap your head under quite a few times, and you weren't able to do really anything hand fighting wise on your feet. Um, Most of the time on your feet, you were spending with your chin to your chest, your head was down. So that dictating a little bit better with your hand fight. So this week, try it. Try and get first contact, beat them to contact, and clubbing and snapping and pushing. Try that using your hands and feet to move somebody. And then the other thing is staying out of front headlock. So again, you're able to get your head was snapped down a few times this match. I think 3 times or at least 2.5, where there was your chin's getting driven to your chest, which means there's weight. You're heavy on your feet. You can't move your feet. So either you're going to be susceptible to them shooting or snapping you down and stuck in a front headlock. So one time you're able to score off a sucker drag, but it's not a position you want to be in where you're getting your head stuck underneath. You can't get your shots off. You can't really move them. You can't set things up. You don't want to be spending time there. And most of the match on your feet in this match was spent with that opponent on your head. So let's watch the whistle start. I think you go for a fake off the whistle. You level change, your hands go to the mat. Kind of look for shot here because he clubbed you in the head and got right to work on a dump. And that, again, let's watch that again. Heavy, heavy, heavy. There's a shot. When they're heavy on your head, it's hard to move your feet. So when you're faking, if you're going to fake off the whistle, keep your head up. Right now, you lowered your chest. This isn't a great stance. If you're faking, you should look like you're ready to shoot or be in a really good stance. And neither one of these. This looks like you're about to be snapped down. So when he clubs you, then it really gets you reacting. Your head's down. Now you got to catch elbows. Now you're heavy on your legs, and he shoots and gets to it down. So let's work on whistle start this week of making contact and you pulling on them. He pushes you away. Again, right away, he's able to snap your chin to your chest. He's able to snap you down. So they're working on moving forward, not backing out. So when someone snaps you, your chin's going to, or your face is going to their chest. You're able to shoot. You end up sucker dragging here, which was good. I think your arm is a little high in that armpit. I'd rather see it around the waist or with the option to change single leg. So this left hand that's high around the arm, if you lower it to the waist, less chance of him slipping this to an underhook, and also it gives you the option to attack a near leg, attack a single leg. Here, he's on a hip. You should score this. Your right hand, you should get behind both armpits. So make that adjustment. Looks like that's what you're looking for. You weren't able to, and you go back to a crossface, but that crossface allows him to keep that leg. Not a bad idea, but now you're kind of draping. Your pressure's too far over the back. Your legs need to get back. You need to get off of them here. Your hips need to slide off, your legs back. You should be getting away from this arm. This is the only thing stopping you from being taken down here. So if you are going to crossface, sprawling and wiggling your hips away rather than draping. Get off him, get your hips off. He's able to get a lock again, which, that's going to slow you down. That stinks. You had his hands unlocked for a second. He switched from this leg to a high crotch. Good job getting him flat. Now keep him flat. Keep pressure. Get your hips in, get your head up, keep pressure, start fighting this lock. You're able to get the lock broke, you hip in, there's your takedown. So you're up 4-3 here with like 30 seconds left. So you got to be thinking ride out, go out this period. Right here, when he hooks this arm, you've got to recognize this and go to the same side that he's hooking. That'll take away the roll. If you're on the far side, that's going to get leverage for him to at least attempt to roll. And we can go over this in practice, this mousetrap position. We're going to stuff the head. You're doing it here. You end up posting on the mat. You want to get your hips away from him. Get your hips this way. Float your hips around his head, and that'll take away any opportunity to Peterson. Where you get in trouble here is your hips get put on the mat. So you go to this. You go to attack that leg, and he's able to suck your leg underneath into a crackdown. And now there's 15 seconds left. And giving up takedown. So 5-4 period. Could have been a 4-3 period. He goes bottom. You're going to go Blair ride off the whistle, which is working well for you. And it doesn't do a great job of holding him down here, but it at least slows him down, which is all you can ask for. You're going to buy some time. So you're getting a cross wrist. I like that. Don't wait for perfect cross wrist. If you have the wrist tight, just go ahead and roll. Don't worry about your left arm catching the bicep. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Try and put his head down. He's able to come up here. You go thigh pry, go to a claw. More pressure on this claw. So when you're running it forward, or rather you should run it forward. So use your legs a little more. When you change to a claw, I should see your toes digging in here. You're kind of hanging and sagging. That's not going to be enough to keep him down. When he rolls, create scramble. His head gets high, yours is low. So when he rolls, he does a good job of getting his head up, and yours goes down there. So sometimes you're quick to find ankles and scramble there, but you really want to be focused on keeping head up and focusing on where your hips are. Now you're in a tough spot. Far ankle, you're hanging on with far ankle. He has a Turk, so this is tough here. He's cross face, and eventually he's able to pull your chin away from your hand there and get the reversal. You almost get a reversal here, so you create a scramble. He's looking for rebar. You're able to catch the bottom leg. And right here where your knees are separating his heel, that's good. You're elevating the heel. Right now, there's probably like 10 seconds left. I don't know if you're aware of the time, but more urgency to get your hips outside of his lap. He's able to keep your hips in his lap here so you don't get a reversal. If you can move your hips outside, then you're going to hip place left towards his legs. You're going to get a reversal. Time expired there. That would have been big points at the period. So you would have been down by 1. Now you're down by 3. Choice is neutral, which is the right move. Get 3-point takedown. All right, let's watch whistle start again. So you're on him, you're in contact, but nothing happens from here. He's able to snap again, get your head underneath. So right now, again, in practice, focus on your hands and feet should never be still. This week in practice, keep hands and feet moving. You're on contact, you're pulling, you're pushing, you're chopping a hand, you're taking a tie up, you're digging an underhook. Don't let your hands be still. And then again, you got snap down. So working on keeping your head up, keeping your butt underneath you. He eventually scores this, able to bully you over. I don't know how you don't give up back points there. Good job fighting it. Now you're able to turn his hip down, force leg in, get his height. Looks like that's something you're getting good at. Swim to the head. He bails. He doesn't want to give up back points. Gives 2 reversal. You're probably down 4 here, I'm thinking. So you got to go all in on a turn. Go to Blair ride, which gives you a chance. If you're going to run this elbow needs to go up on your hip so you don't have any pressure right there. If you're going to run that like a bar, that elbow needs to be up on your thigh. So even in a situation like this, it's like urgency but not panic. So you still have to do the technique correct. And now you commit to hammerlock. He's not moving. Laying on a hip. He can eat a stall call. He's up 4. And match ends like that. So my I think it ends like this. Oh no, you go claw. So this is good. You go claw. You've been working this. Keep your knees tighter on this. And there's not much time, but your knees are they're spread out here. You should be pinching your knees on this thigh. So he's not able to turn his hips down. So biggest takeaways for me on the match, things to focus on this week and the upcoming weeks are to dictate the hand fighting. So making first contact on whistle. So being ready on the whistle, making first contact in practice, and then pushing and pulling and moving from there. So your hands and feet aren't moving, aren't still. Try and snap front headlocks. If you're not getting their head to their chin, well, then there's going to be a shot there. So using that to set up your leg attack. So dictating the hand fight and then staying out of front headlocks. So this match, you were in a front headlock twice. One sucker drag worked, one didn't. The first initial exchange, he's able to snap your head down really hard, which opened you up for that dump. So making sure your butt stays down, your head's up, and you're moving forward. So you're keeping a toe under your chin. So when you get snapped, you're able to close the distance, close the gap, rather than getting snapped and your butt goes down, or butt goes up, your head goes down, being able to move into that snap and even looking for leg attacks. So those two big takeaways. Pick up your hand fighting. Let's make first contact, get hands on and move them, and staying out of front headlock. All right, Gabe. That's it for now.